I had some inclination. So then I thought, why can't start my own company and do it? But again, I'm thankful to management to have permitted me to do that without any hassles, without any problems. I started in year 2000 by the name Manwish Infotech Limited. I started the company. Still, I'm running that company. Of course, while running the company, all of you know that it is not that smooth. It's always ups and downs, a lot of difficulties. And first of all, mine is a first generation business. So we had to learn a lot of things. So of course, the things have happened, moved on, and we are running now successfully. And now it is stable, the company. I'm running a good company and mainly focused on product developments. We are in the same line, embedded. Because I have knowledge, I tell you myself, both hardware as well as software. I acquired software skill also, C, C++, Pascal, Fortran, even Android, latest, even Java. Even the microprocessor side, I acquired microprocessor, starting from 8085, I think you have studied. Started with that 8085, 8086, then that series, the microcontroller 808051, and now the present microcontrollers. I tell you one thing, still I study every day at least 2 to 3 hours. Wow. That is one of the things which makes us to be in line with the technology. Suppose if you just live for a year, you will be totally outdated and totally out of this field, you cannot catch up. Even if I study so much, still I cannot catch up with the change in technology. It's very fast, very, very fast. So we cannot catch up unless we have a constant tune with that changing technology. That's what I'm doing. So we have to struggle. Otherwise, if I don't do, it will just go off. So if I want to stay in the line, if I want to be in the technology today, I have to study every day, I have to acquire new knowledge, I have to interact with new people. So I have to go abroad. I'm keep going abroad regularly. I have very good association with China. I'm very much impressed with the way they work. I'm very regular visitor, almost a month, once in a month. I go there, I study a lot of their basics, how they do, how they perform. I've gone to the root level, I studied, acquired knowledge, how they make product. So now, actually, I shifted to a new place, the bigger place. We are planning to expand to make a new products. Actually, I'm planning to, I just disclosed to you people, planning to launch smartphones with the new latest technology. Probably in the next 2 months down the line, we may launch smartphones of our own series. I'm organizing for some funds. I'm getting some funds from overseas, already through to some extent. Probably with the Swamiji's blessings and our elders' blessings, probably in the next 2 to 3 months, we may launch the product. So I will invite all of you for the launch. So hope so. And to come to that stage, I also struggled a lot. I don't want to, I think I cannot explain in just a few minutes. I think my director, Janaka Sapa, knows a little bit because I told him all my difficulties every time. Because I can share because he understands. I shared sometimes. But undergone a lot of difficulties to come to that level, because when you think big, when you want to grow in a bigger level, and if you have a bigger vision, and it's not easy to achieve. It's not that easy. Okay, if you want to just lead the life, if you just enough, if you want to do something on a day to day, no problem at all, because a lot of opportunities in the world you can do it. But if you want to do in your own way, if you want to make your vision to be realized, you have to struggle a lot. As an entrepreneur, it's very difficult. So with this, somehow things are going well. First of all, I'm thankful to you all again. And coming to my personal life, I'm just finished my PhD degree, now I'm a doctorate actually. So I am married in 1987, I think, 86, sorry. Married in 1986, and I got 2 kids. Both are sons. My first son is working in US. He finished his MS in US, and he is also electronics. And he did MS in Information and Management. Presently he is working. He is also doing well, and he has come back home now for the holidays. He is back on 20th. My second son is also electronics. He is also working in one of the multinational company, Times in Corporation, and he is the only guy selected out of 2,000 people in the interview. And within 6 months, he got 2 promotions. He is doing well, and he is quite doing well in communication, and things are doing well. And he may go to MS later. I don't know when he will go, but he's doing well from last 1 year, and both are doing well. No problem. So quite quite comfortable. Now my vision is to make something happen because God has given enough and also given enough experience to me by training, like in a very hard way, very hard way. Sometimes I feel really it required this much of effort and experience. Probably we do MBA, management course and many other courses. But the experience what we gain, it may be equal to several MBAs.
True.
Several MBAs. Because it's a real practical experience. When money is there, money is not there. When money is there, we think in a different way. When money is not there and you want to do something, then the real thing starts. How do you survive? Not one parameter, there are many parameters. One side you have to take care of the company, one side you have to take care of the people, you have to pay the salary, you have to pay the infrastructure, you have to survive myself. How do you do that? So that where mind start thinking in a different way, that where things expands, that's where make you to get matured more and more. I'm not the same person like I was when I joined in 1984. Because initially my mindset was very academic when I started my company. Because I come from the academic background. I joined in 84, almost like, till I start my company, it was 15, 16 years. And my mind was academic. You know what is academic mindset? It's very generous, very simple, everybody. And support, no selfishness there. You can't expect for yourself. There's a very good mindset, academic set is a very, very noble mindset for everybody. When you go to business, that mindset and that experience will not work out. When you think business in the mind of academic, okay, to some extent go, but you will fail again. That's what happened to me. I started falling down because that mindset was not working. That somewhere it is failing. That I could not realize. When I go into some point, that parameter will not work out, fall down. Again learn from there, again go a little bit up. That way my mindset started transforming slowly from academic to business mind. That took almost another 17, 18 years. Now started in 2000, now 2018 now, 17, 18 years. I undergone to transform myself into a different world altogether as a businessman because we don't have business background. So with this, this is what I wanted to share with you people because you are all almost matured and almost at the same level, of course, few years of difference. And you also, many of you are working in big companies and having a lot of experience. I heard that many of you are entrepreneurs here. And I'm very thankful to all of you because entrepreneurship and running business is a different quality and a different ballgame altogether. So I wish all of you good luck and to achieve success in your life and be happy and good luck to all of you. Thank you.
To give one question about sir to my classmates. We had one nickname for Manjunath sir.
One day.
One day. I think one day was the name in Kannada. It is like the meaning of that is a rock. So he was really a rock. After listening to him, I can remember that. He used to prepare the notes very nice and we could able to read it clearly. So that was, we love, yeah, it's copied to everywhere and it is sent to everywhere around Bangalore University, I remember. So thank you sir, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you sir, that was so inspiring and thought-provoking. Now I request Mr. Rajiv Sadhu to share his experience in his college.
Stage to Chennai.
Yeah, I think I managed from hours and pages on that, but let me try to do justice within a few minutes. When I landed here, it was the first time I had left my home state. I think I shared this, I come from Jammu and Kashmir, and imagine coming from Jammu and Kashmir all the way into Tumkur. I think I was the only student from J&K in 84. This college had not seen a student from J&K before me in 84. And there was? Okay. So, because everybody used to ask a lot of questions, okay, how are things here and all that. And when I landed here, the first thing I saw was that, the food was completely different. The language was different. Okay, English everybody spoke, but, normally it was difficult to, for example, go to Tapri or anywhere, it was a little difficult to communicate. The language, the culture, everything. So what I can, when I reflect back today, I think the first lesson of my professional life, what I learned for coming to SIT was the art of adaptability. How do you survive when you go away in a completely different, I'll not call it alien because it's still part of India, but completely in a different part of the world and where you kind of do this. And I think that adaptability, what I learned, staying in SIT has helped me throughout my career. I have lived in 5-6 different countries, moved 3 different continents. And I think it is that adaptability which I learned during my SIT days which has kept me going. That's the point number 1. I think the second thing, I really want to express my thanks and gratitude to my class here, for tolerating me for those 4 years with them, because I was quite a nuisance creator those days, always trying to do funny things, whether it was organizing mass bunks or picnics or anything. So I was always at the helm of the affairs, and but still we could always kind of get rooted back to our studies. And what I kind of did at that point of time was, I didn't excel academically very well, but whatever we really learned the basics, fundamentals very, very clearly. And this came back to me. I used to work with Airtel for a long time. When Airtel was in its growth phase, I was basically the head of network deployment for entire North India during 2000 to 2004. When Airtel ramped up, it was a global record of building networks, when we built a network for Airtel in India. And I remember at that point of time, we used to hire engineers every month, and I was part of the GET panel, who used to interview GETs. And I really used to wonder that, what kind of engineers are coming these days, because they would had fantastic, marks and everything, but when you try to ask about fundamentals, I think the fundamentals were not clear. What they used to think was, we are going for an interview to Airtel, let's study about GSM and we'll qualify. And then we went on the other side of the table, we didn't care about whether they knew GSM or not. We really wanted to understand, do they understand the fundamentals? And if the basic fundamentals are right, GSM is no rocket science, we can tease in GSM. So I think that's one of the important things what I learned in my SIT days, that yes, scoring marks definitely is good, but if you're not learning your fundamentals in life, I think you really struggle hard. And even till today, I think I already can closely relate to what Manjunath sir just said. Even till today, those fundamentals help you keep rooted and your learning never stops. Right now in my job, when I look back, if I don't keep myself updated, I can easily get fooled by bankers and all the financial institutions, and because I'm a decision maker for acquiring companies in the digital space globally for a company, and if you don't understand the product, you just cannot take the right decision. So it's so important, and I think that is one of the basic things I would say. The third thing I would say is that what I learned in SIT during my SIT date is nothing is impossible. And when I say that, it's not bookish. I mean it. I think many of us did academically well. Many of us, like me, didn't do academically that well. But when we really wanted to excel in life and you really work hard at it, you could achieve. So nothing is impossible. If you really want to do it, you can do it. At whatever stage in your life you decide to get serious in whatever you want to do it. And again, I think this happened because I remember it was third year of my third year, when I really hit hard on my papers and all that, and I said, what the hell what's gone wrong? And then, we kind of bounced back and said that we have to get out of it, you can't just continue like that. So that is a very important aspect of life, I would say, which I learned. And I think all these values, why I'm repeating them, and I'm just, because I think people sitting on this side of the room, they don't need this. They're all part of my journey. I think it's more towards the people sitting on this side of the room, which I'm trying to share my experiences, is that these qualities, fundamental things, you will not realize when you're in the college. You will not realize when you're going through that journey. And while you go through that journey, have fun. Follow your heart and really do things passionately. I think it will really help you in your whole life. And I think that's what we did. We used to study, we used to do all kind of things. We never stopped having fun. We used to maybe trouble our teachers also quite a bit in the meantime. I remember Manjunath sir used to be the deputy warden of B block those days, and it used to get locked at 11 o'clock in the night, if I remember, sir, the shutter. But there was a big fence next to your room. We used to climb that, and come back into the hostel after watching a night show in the town. So never stop having fun, because what happens is life is serious. There will be serious moments. There will be setbacks. There will be defining moments. If you keep having fun, and if you keep following passionately, you will overcome. I think these are few learnings of my career, I would say of my journey in SIT, which has really helped me go through different things on my life. The last and the final thing, which I think I again learned, because I don't know, it was my nature or I got pushed into by my friends because they probably thought that I can do it. I always used to say yes to everything. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's do. You know, for example, my friends want to learn swimming. We had a Hotel Woodlands, I think it's disappeared now, opposite our college. And it had a huge swimming pool. And in my family, swimming was kind of banned because we had lost one of our uncles. And you know, so nobody was allowed to go near the water. And when my friends kind of pushed that, no, let's learn swimming, I just joined them. And I remember, I think first or second time when they pushed me in the pool, I was about to drown. You know, but that's how you kind of overcome your fears and all that. And I think that also one thing has kept me and helped me a lot in my career. You know, when you say yes to things, and I always come back to this, you know, I was talking to my friend Omer, you know, he came all the way from Ballari to drop me here. He's not from ENC batch, he's 84 civil engineering batch. But I stayed with him last 2 days since I came all the way here. I could not go back without meeting him. And I was talking to him about in the car when we were driving down here, that I think all these things, you know, when you do in your life, I can relate to this book. It's a very famous book. My favorite author called Paulo Coelho, you know, you heard about it, a book called Alchemist. And for those of you who don't know what Alchemist is, the art of making gold from lead. And then in this book, you know, he says this, if you follow something passionately, he says the laws of nature will conspire, not inspire. Remember the word. The laws of nature will conspire to make you succeed. I think remember that in life. So if you put all your heart and soul into anything what you want to do, the laws of nature will conspire to make you succeed. Nothing can stop you. So I think I'm really thankful to all my years in SIT and all of my friends sitting here, my professors, who helped me inculcate all these values. And I just want to share it with you so that maybe some of you can benefit out of it. Thank you.
I now request Professor Basavarajaya to address us all.
Good noon to all of you. It is exactly 12 o'clock now. At the outset, I would like to thank you for inviting me for this reunion of 1984 batch. And without any hesitation, I can say this is the most important day for me in my life, because today I have the opportunity of listening to my students who have been successful in their professional career. And they are keeping the flag of SIT very high. Friends, nothing brings more happiness to a teacher than when he hears from his students or from Sumaru that they are doing very well and contributing their mind for the development of the nation. Really, I thank you. I am very proud of all of you. I only pray the Almighty to give you and your family health, wealth, longevity, and prosperity in your future career. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We request Mr. Srinath CV to felicitate Professor Sudarshan, and we also request Professor Sudarshan to take the seat of honor. Now request Professor Sudarshan to speak a few words.
At the outset, I would like to congratulate all of you for having such a beautiful day. Congrats to all of you. in true sense, it is not only the reunion of 84 batch, it is reunion of 84 batch with the college and in particular with electronics department. Thank you very much. So at the outset, I would like to extend my respectful wish, to our director, Dr. M.N. Chanavasapa, Professor Basurajaya, my colleagues, and also Dr. Manjunath, ex-colleague and always friend of mine, and all my other colleagues, and the young volunteers of our department, or even from various departments. There are the students who have voluntarily come forward to help us on this occasion. In fact, there were 40 students who had volunteered to help. So let's also thank all of them. And of course, when I went through whatever you had discussed so far, even my memories rolled back to the days when we joined the college. It was from 77 to 82, and you joined in 84. And exactly the difference between us is around 6 and 7 years. Since then, I have been associated in the college. As Manjunath told, from 79 he has been here. I am there 2 years more than what he is. 77 I joined as student, and after that I immediately joined the teaching profession in this college. And it is a very long journey, and I have seen a lot of students passing out from the Department of Electronics. And one thing which is unique in all the students starting from our batch till today is wherever they have got placed, the companies have really made special remark on the students of SIT, especially when it comes to discipline. They say that, say our major recruiters are TCS, earlier it was Wipro, Infosys, and all of them have made one remark that your students are very disciplined. And this really has made the institute very proud, and also because of that discipline, hard work, and whatever the teamwork, whatever you call, has really made them to grow high in their careers. In fact, they have achieved the progress what others could achieve in 3-4 years, they have achieved in 2 years. They have become project managers, and they have scaled to new heights. It's all because of the discipline which they have inculcated, and the credit also goes to you people. You being seniors have really inculcated all those in your juniors, and this is really the thing which we have to pass on to the juniors who are here today. And this is the reputation which our SIT students are carrying. In true sense, they are true ambassadors of the college. Once again, thank you for having gained such reputation to the college. Thank you. And apart from this academics, even I have been asked to handle 2 more departments. One is cultural department. Professor Basurajaya was earlier cultural head of Spandana and other team, and when Dr. MNC took over in 1992 as principal, immediately after that 3-day Halcyon festival was organized, and every year it has been continuously, we are been celebrating that event. And as such, on February 22nd, 23rd and 24th, we have Halcyon celebrations, and please do join us for those 3 days. That will be an event where most of the engineering college just from the state would be, the students would be competing. Apart from that, there is one more event which will be held regularly in the month of November. It is exclusively Kannada cultural event, Spandana, which was headed by Professor Basurajaya at that time. And since then, I am in charge of these 2 activities. And the third activity is, at present, I am secretary for the Alumni Association. And SIT Alumni Association got registered in the month of 2013. And as all of you remember, in 2014, there was a mega event which was carried out. And it was Golden Jubilee celebration of SIT Alumni Association. And it was a 2-day program on March 1st and 2nd. In fact, in the beginning, um, I mean, in the month of January, there were not much participation, I mean, not much registrations at that time. And when we approached all our alumni like you, old students, through our teachers helped a lot. All the teachers contacted the students with whom they had contacts. And at the time, what problem we had faced was, before 2000, there was no email, no mobile phones. And even the addresses what we had was obsolete. And only through personal contacts, we were able to meet through the efforts of all the teachers of SIT. They were able to meet as many of their students, and finally, on the day of the event, the registration crossed nearly 1,500. So 1,500 alumni members, along with their family, for 2 days, they had stayed in the campus, enjoyed, and even today they remember that as the memorable event. And for this, once again, I thank you all wholeheartedly for the support, because you people had really, within say 2 months, from 300, the registration showed up to 1,500. For these things, once again, the credit must go to you people. Thank you very much for making that. See, whenever we have such event, all the SITians would really, even though they are not able to come, they would wish us from wherever they are. In fact, in that Golden Jubilee event, there were people not only from India, from outside the country, America, England, and even Dubai, and nearly 8 to 10 countries, from 8 to 10 countries, 16 countries rather, our alumni had attended. So once again, thanks to all of you. And finally, as I told you, this is the first, this kind of reunion is first in electronics batch. Actually, in last year, students from mechanical and chemical, nearly 70 students had arranged such a reunion. And from electronics side, you are the first batch who have arranged. So it should set as a precedent, and the batches following yours should take, and always you are welcome to SIT at any time. If you just inform us in advance, like Madam Prem Sudha had taken the lead, and along with Prem Sudha, Mahadev, Ramesh Kaza, all of them, they came just, I think, 2 months back, and they had just planned 2 months back. And because they had planned well in advance, it's possible that they're able to almost gather more than 50% of the classmates. Very good. So all of you have come from different parts of the world. Once again, I thank you and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you. Informed that today the hospitality and other things will be taken care by your batch. But the principal has passed on, has requested me to pass on this message to you. The college is too happy to take care of all the catering and other hospitalities. So please let us let's not say no to whatever principal has told. And once again, we should thank the management and principal for having extended such hospitality. Thank you.
So what we'll do is the monies we kept aside for that, we will donate back to the SIT community.
Okay, that decision.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now that we are done with our professors, now I call upon Mr. Shivanand to felicitate our director, Dr. M.N. Channabasappa, and I request Dr. M.N. Channabasappa to take the seat of honor. Now I request Dr. M.N. Channabasappa sir to speak a few words.
So friends, good afternoon to all of you. And I'm very happy to be invited to participate in this important get-together of 1984 electronic students. I listened to everything right from the beginning till now, and they have expressed their happiness in having been the students of this particular college. And electronics department is now expanded. And how many faculty are there, sir? 32. At that time it was just three. And the way they taught, of course, Dr. Manjunath's name is being mentioned by every one of you, and I join you all in thanking Dr. Manjunath in continuing his association with SITcamp. We are insisting that he should continue to be in this institution as an invited professor or adjunct professor, call it by whatever name. He should not dissociate himself from the responsibilities he has been. All along he has been helping the college. We didn't have professors with PhD degrees. As mentioned by our principal, when I joined this institution in 1991 as principal, we were altogether 3 people with PhDs. One in chemical engineering, another in civil engineering, a third one myself in mathematics. All others were thinking that at that point of time, MTech is a good enough degree and they don't have to bother too much about it. So my name is being mentioned often, but I am not responsible for any development. It is the wish and blessings of our Swamiji, who just said yes for whatever we. The first thing that I made the proposal within a week of my joining this college is requesting the management to approve to send faculty who have joined with MTech degrees to go for PhD degree with pay, whatever pay they were getting at that particular point of time. No other private college has done it. And Swamiji approved it within 3 days of my joining, and that is going on. So with that, of course, we had to cajole people to go for PhD because there was no need. Why? MTech is good enough and we are teaching and we are getting the salary. That is not it. And more than 100 people are, at one point of time, I think it was 11 or 12 people doing their PhD in IIT Madras from a single college, single private college. So they established the brand of the college by going in there, and they all came out successful with PhD degrees. They are all working in various departments. And regarding Manjunath, again, time and again, I am insisting that he should not think of leaving this institution for anything outside. Yeah, because even his visit once a week to the college helps so many students, and they have to be, we are not utilizing him to the best possible extent because in spite of our telling them Manjunath is available for a day, I think it was a Saturday on which he is coming, and he should continue doing it. And if you electronics people have got any doubts or they are thinking of getting some help, Manjunath will be there. And he has started his new premises, and His company is also taking up with the help of China Association, but in spite of that, he should be able to spend at least one day in our college for the benefit of our students. Electronics, various topics are to be taught with a person, by a person who knows the fundamentals clearly. Because some students who have got admission in electronics department under management quota by paying high fees, additional fees of 8 lakhs, they, after spending 1 year in the department, they say, sir, electronics is not good for us, please give a change to some other branch of engineering. I asked him, why, what is the problem? Sir, this electronics business is very tricky. I can't see electronics, I can't feel electronics, and that only means they have not been able to give fundamentals to students. It is the teachers who have to improve their knowledge, because when we have 35 people in the college and when we have to cater to 120 students in electronics department, naturally some of the teachers would naturally require additional acquisition of knowledge regarding the basics of electronics. This is what we are talking to them. After all, this is one of the points that we discuss in our college amongst ourselves, we teachers. In a year, we have 365 working days. 365 days, not working really. 180 days only we are in the classroom. 90 days in the odd semester, 90 in the even semester. The remaining 180 days, what happens to them? We do draw salary for those days also. Therefore, we can't complain. We are overworked, we have no time to learn. 180 days are at your disposal to acquire your own basic knowledge and keep studying every day. That's what we discuss. We talk about this openly. Many a time, many colleges may not think on those lines. 180 days only you work. We keep drawing salary for the entire 365 days. Therefore, we have total responsibility, we teachers, to upgrade our own knowledge. And when I can explain any concept or process very clearly to the student, even now the students would like to attend your classes even if you hold the classes after the class hours. Only when I am not very clear about the concept, I try to spend time, the bell rings, another ring comes, after that I am free. I don't have any other responsibility. Therefore, this is a suggestion to quite a good number of people who are teachers in this group, and that is the only advice or suggestion that I can make. Of course, on this occasion, maybe a few words about SITCampus Gurukul that is running there. You might have visited SITCampus Gurukul, the kind of service that Swamiji is providing in addition to this college. College anybody can run, we collect the fees and we get paid and we teach. But SITCampus Gurukul accommodates about 9,000 plus kids, all coming from rural areas, belonging to all castes and communities, without any discrimination whatsoever, and they are all getting free food, shelter, and education. And the kind of learning that takes place there, Swamiji himself, who started shouldering the responsibility of running the mutt in 1941 when his predecessor Swamiji, Uddana Swamiji by name, passed away. At that time, Siddhaganga Mutt, if you have not visited it recently, visit today or tomorrow, that is worth visiting. In the evening, there will be a prayer session. Whether you believe in prayer or not, I am not just suggesting this way or that. That is up to you to think. But putting 9,000 plus kids belonging to all faiths, all religions, all areas in one campus and managing their meeting the responsibility of providing them with free food, shelter, education. That is one thing that can happen only in Siddhaganga Mutt. It is inclusive development. Right, and yeah, I am also a student of Siddhaganga Gurukul.
Oh, wow.
1941, I also joined Siddhaganga Gurukul to 4th standard. I was the only small kid going to primary school at that time. All others were middle and high school students. In Siddhaganga Mutt itself, there were no schools, either middle schools or high schools or PU schools, because the Mutt is not one of those traditionally rich mutts like Udupi, Sringeri or some other rich mutts. The kitchen and the dining hall at that time in Siddhaganga Mutt was almost of this area, or a little more than this area. And the flooring was renewed every week using cow dung. So we had to, that is of course considered to be very healthy to put cow dung and maintain the floor of the house or whatever it is. And so the Mutt owned about, say, 15 acres of dry land, nothing beyond that. So whatever could happen only out of the proceeds that come from philanthropic people who visit the place and see that a good kind of education is being given to students there, because all people belonging to different communities living together and getting on well itself is a big education, which the government is not able to do either at the center or in the states level. It so happened to I happened to travel with one of our education ministers in Karnataka, Mr. Manjunath by name, not our Manjunath. And we were traveling in the same compartment train. I put him a question. He was the education minister at that time. Sir, you are running so many hostels. Why do you name them as the SC hostels or ST hostels or this kind of? Simply say it is hostels for students who are in need of help. So let anybody join those hostels and run them. No, Mr. Chandrasapal, we government cannot do that, only Sri Swamiji, Shukumar Swamiji, Siddhaganga Mutt can do it. This was the kind of helplessness that we could express with me. So, and a Sanskrit school was started by the previous Swamiji, Uddana Swamiji in Siddhaganga Mutt in 1917. Though Mutt has a history of more than 500 years, it was only a religious small place with some, say, a temple which is existing even now. It is improved to a large extent. And he started a Sanskrit school in 1970. The previous Swamiji was himself not all that educated. He knew only Kannada, writing, and not even Sanskrit. I don't know why he started a Sanskrit school. Maybe the thinking was, there were at that time under British rule, of course, Maharaja ruling the state, 2 Sanskrit schools in Karnataka, one in Mysore and another at Bangalore. Bangalore, Chaityaprajendra Sanskrit College, Mysore, Maharaja Sanskrit College. The entire expenditure was borne by the government in both the places, but the admission was not open to everybody. That may be the prompting reason for Uddham Swamiji to start a Sanskrit school and allow all people to study Sanskrit in that school, whether you belong to this caste or the other caste or whatever. Even now, all the 9,000 kids have the opportunity of learning Sanskrit. In the morning, 2 hours, 6 to 7 or 8, they have to go through Sanskrit learning. Not that they become big pundits of Sanskrit, but they do become acquainted with the kind of education that we are supposed to have got in this particular country. So, and students who work in Siddhagangam at Learn, they are moving away from white-collar attitude, because 1941 I am saying, Swamiji used to work with us in the field, in the kitchen, and whatever work was to be done, he was not asking the students or others to do. He would join them in doing that work. So it was guiding by examples himself, and Swamiji's own itinerary would start every day at 2:30 a.m. and he had immense faith in some supernatural force that is responsible for all development of the entire world. You can also think of it how, say, take a simple example of human body. Who might have prepared the blueprint for creating this human body? What are the various parts? You have heart, you have kidneys, you have legs, you have eyes, you have brain. You keep on counting the number of elements that have gone into the construction of this human body. Who gave the training? I mean, the drawing. So ultimately, all thinkers have come to the conclusion that some supreme authority or power, which is responsible for the running of the entire, not only the earth, the entire universe is responsible, and that has happened. Somehow, over a period, it has evolved itself. Yeah, what does it mean? How can anything evolve on its own? When you see a nice wristwatch, you can just keep wondering which might be the country that has, or which might be the company that has been responsible for such a nice piece of watch or any other equipment. So that is such kind of immense faith in the Almighty. It is not only this earth. And if you think of traveling to moon and other planets, what can be the cost and what can be the outcome? Of course, our ISRO is doing a nice job, And the entire world is also doing similar things, not to be left out of the game, but ultimately what is the outcome, and take our own country's needs. How many of us are being provided with 2 square meals? How many of them? Maybe 30 to 40%, with all attempts made by the various so-called leaders. There are people who are hanging themselves because of them. And this is where the educated youth or educated people in general should think of. This is what our Swamiji is worried about, that. That is the reason why he is determined to train not only the students who are in the campus of Siddhaganga Gurukul, 9,000 plus children. He has started schools in various villages in Tumkur district, in Bangalore district, in Mysore district, Chitradurga and other nearby places. Let the rural children get educated, particularly the girl child in the rural areas. Earlier days, when you took over 80 years back, no girl would go out of the village to study. Therefore, most of the schools, about 120 of them are run by Siddhaganga Education Society. They are located in rural areas. And if you see those 9,000 kids working there, they become so self-reliant because they may not have good money coming from their parents. Swamiji supports them. And they do everything. They wash their clothes, they take bath, they attend to their own studies, everything self-made, self-reliance. And those coming out of that institution, they become tough. Tough in the sense, not that they would start hitting somebody, not in that sense. They can make the situation work for them. They would work hard and they would not fail in facing the difficulties that they come up their way. So this is the kind of tough training that they get without any intention of imposing anything on anybody. So they can follow any religion, any faith, only they get the help they need. So this is Swamiji's philosophy. And what else? And coming back to Dr. Manjunath, of course, he made it a point that we have to keep studying, particularly in the technology side, which is changing every hour. They have to work hard. Working hard is this. Yeah, I'm coming to the end. So we do discuss it amongst ourselves. We are about 300 plus faculty people here. And we discuss it amongst ourselves. Is it possible to put in more work and committed work and caring for the slow learning child? All those things we can take care of only if we make up our minds. This is what And those of you who are really doing well as entrepreneurs, yeah, many have spoken for giving. So many people, I think Wipro chairman has come out with 50% of the income to be given for charity. And Mr. Neelankani, he has also 50%. And so many others are coming for, of course, Microsoft chairman, former and present chairman, they are also thinking on those lines. So giving. Some Hindi film, there is a song, I don't know who sang it. तुम एक पैसा दोगे वो 10 लाख देगा. Yeah, so if you keep giving, there is nothing that certainly harms you. On the other hand, you will be helped. And our own small children who travel in train to Raichur and Bidar and long distances. And most of them, they can't afford to pay for the railway ticket. So they have a trick. They keep a photograph of Sri Shivkumar Swamiji with them. When the person coming for the checking of tickets asks, they will show Swamiji's photo. So they are allowed, yeah, you can go. That is the reputation of Swamiji that has gained everywhere. Swamiji himself is not for establishing any brand or anything. He doesn't aspire for any titles or somebody has given, what is it? What is the title? Karnataka government has given? Yeah, and central government? Yeah. Many others are saying, why not he is getting Bharat Ratna or something. Swamiji, small, I think he smiles at it and says, what do I do with that? There is no need for that. I know we are worried, that's what so many people necessarily make it. SIT, of course, has, of course, regarding research, product development, all those things, they are happening now from the last 5 to 10 years. So many people are publishing and things are happening. So my appeal to all the alumni, please visit us more often, and we certainly don't think of compelling you to part with your money and any such thing, but you can help us by giving your knowledge and address our students once in a month or something. Those who are at least staying in Bangalore, they can earmark one of these Sundays or Saturdays and see that our people are helped a lot. It helps both faculty as well as students. So with this I can keep on speaking. Of course, mentioning something about myself, I completed my master's degree in BHU, that is mathematics, with first class first. We call it first class with first rank as first class first. And then I did my PhD in IIT Delhi and worked in Central College Bangalore for 5 years. Then joined KREC Surathkal when it got established in 1960. I joined that as assistant professor and head of the Department of Mathematics, and continued there till I reached the age of retirement 60 years in 1991. I was very happy because KREC was a good institution and we used to get good many students who were very good. And though the place was something new to all of us, going from this part of the state to Mangalore, one of our colleagues asked a local person, Shan Bogre, Yen Shan Bogre illi ಏನು ಕಳ್ತನ ಅದು ಇದು ಇಲ್ವೋ ಇಷ್ಟರ ತನಕ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಮಾರಾಯ ನೀವು ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಬರೋರು ಇನ್ನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಸೊ Bangalore was a better place to live. And now some unnecessary political happenings spoil the name. That is happening throughout the country, of course. So, after retirement, Swamiji asked me to come in and work for this institution, 91. And for 15 years, I worked as principal. After that, they are calling me as the director of the institute. Nothing beyond that. Now and then I keep speaking to my colleagues here, and I won't stop doing that even if they get bored, because some of the items of truth cannot be wished away. So this one particular thought, Mr. Vinoba Bhave, when he visited the Central College or Bangalore Central College cricket ground, he gave a lecture. He addressed that lecture to the teachers. You teachers, you are working in the same thing. You are working only half the year by being present in the classroom. The remaining half year, you should devote yourself to serve the country. That was his, yeah. So these thoughts, at least if they come to our mind, whether we relish them or not, they are there. And we are having all the opportunity to work more, and particularly in the context of fast-changing technology, we have to do that. And any student, if he is given the information regarding a process or a method, if I have understood it, he will definitely understand it very clearly. This has been my experience also. I have been a teacher for the last 60 years, and now I am not teaching because the memory part of it, the retention of the memory is rather difficult. Throughout my career in Suratkal, I never used to take any book or accept a small chit on which some problems are noted, and I would manage that. But that kind of facility is no more available with me with the age. I am 87. So these words, let me just thank all our alumni of, that is 1984, yeah. About 45 to 50 years have passed. And we are happy, and it is a small group, and there is a lot of good action. If the number goes to some 1,000 or 1,500, not much meaningful activity or interaction is possible, and ideally the number of delegates for this is almost equal to the number of volunteers. It is good planning. So all the best again. Thank you very much.
As we all know, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Teachers are the reason why a student learns and accomplishes great heights. We take this opportunity to thank the teachers who have dedicated themselves for sharing their knowledge.
I would like to call Mrs. Pushpalata to come on the stage to felicitate Dr. HKT Kumar, Professor in Physics Department. And I would HKT Kumar to take the seat of honor. And Mr. Nanjana Swami, be ready for next. Thank you for felicitating, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
I am really happy to be part of this, and I thank 1984 batch students who remembered me and invited me. I am very happy, and I have a small bit of appeal to all of you. One of my students runs for me. He was doing well in his studies. He was good. Unfortunately, when he was a pillion rider and going towards Hidiur, he met with an accident, and probably his brain was damaged to some extent, and it took nearly some 1.5 years for him to recover from that injury. And for none of his fault, he had to undergo this calamity, and after that he was in 6th semester at the time of accident, and then with very great difficulty most of the subjects he cleared in 2 subjects at a time he took, and he completed his degree, and he is from a rural background, and he has old parents to support. My appeal is, any of you please help him with a job. That is my appeal, and thank you once again for giving me an opportunity to speak.
Stage to felicitate Mr. Mallikarjun TH, foreman from Electronics and Communication Department. And Mr. Mallikarjun TH, please take the seat of honor. Thank you for felicitating, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call Virendra.
Head of Department of Electronics and Communication, to Professor K.V. Suresh. I request Dr. Premasudha to appreciate his presence of him. Thank you.
I've grown old. I can't see if I wear my glasses. Hello, it's been a great day so far, and it's a privilege and honor to be able to propose a vote of thanks to this esteemed and distinguished gathering. I would like to begin with thanking Dr. M.N. Chennabasappa, Director of SIT. He has guided us with his words of wisdom and experience. I also thank Dr. A.S. Manjuna, the most favorite lecturer of our batch. He received a standing ovation. He has given us some real insight into what life is about, and enlightened us with his experience so that we can leverage from his experience and not make the same mistakes. I would like to thank Professor Basarajaya for his kind words, and Dr. Shivkumar Ayal, principal for taking the time out from his busy schedule to attend this function. And I also thank Dr. HKT Kumar, Professor Jairam, and Professor Sudarshan, the HOD of Electronics Department, Mr. Suresh, Mr. Malika Arjunaya, Mr. Manjunath BK, and Mr. Aradhya. I also take this opportunity to thank the warden and the staff who have very kindly who have served us such a wonderful dinner and breakfast, and I'm hoping to have a good lunch too. Thank you very much. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizing committee which organized this wonderful reunion. The members of this committee, Ramesh, Premasudha, Mahadev, Srinath, Venugopal, Suresh, Jahid, Shankar, and Rama. These put in a lot of hard work to make it successful. And before I end, I should not forget this great team of volunteers who made this event happening for us. So, thank you.
March of 1984 to collect your mementos at the reception and join us for lunch at the Birla Auditorium. Thank you all. We held at Birla Auditorium, including all the teachers and the rector and all the staff and volunteers as well. Okay, and hopefully this time we're not going to run late, and make sure that you finish off your lunch between 1 to 2.
All done? Check it out.
ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೀಚರ್ನು ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ ರೆಡಿ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ